that sort of stuff. And we actually grind this up even further. So you can put this put your panko into a blender or a food processor or even a spice grinder or whatever it is, and it just comes out a little bit finer, but and lighter. All right. Into this, we're going to actually season up the breadcrumb. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in a little bit of oregano. In this case, it's an Italian preparation, so we're putting Italian flavors into the breadcrumb. If we were doing something different and you didn't want the Italian flavors going into it, then you would put different seasonings. Okay? For cutlets, we do different spices, whether it's smoked paprika or different other flavors. It's totally fine. All right? This is some grated Parmigiano Reggiano.
We decided to do a last-minute Facebook Live, so.
All right. Hi, Facebook Live. All right? And what we're going to do is just kind of mix this all up and be ready to go.
Just
All right.
breadcrumb, egg.
Breadcrumb, egg, and flour. Flour's always first. The egg's always in the middle, and the breadcrumb's always last. People get that whole process confused, and then they come to me and they say, "Why didn't it work?" And I say, "What do you do?" And they say, "Well, we did the bread panko first, and then we did the egg, and then we did the flour." And I was like, "Well, you messed it up." All right? Well, we started off with the egg, and then we did the flour. No, we did that wrong too. So there's a reason that there's a 3-step process, okay? And here's the 3-step process. The first reason is that the flour is going to actually stick to the zucchini, eggplant, chicken, whatever it is that you want to use, okay? And at this point, you want to shake it off as much as you can to where it's just a light coating of flour, okay? The flour now is what makes the egg stick, okay? Now here's the next process. Every time I show this to somebody new, especially in my kitchen, and there's a whole bunch of eggplant, think about it. We did over 150 slices of different zucchini and squash for all of you today because that's how much we need to do. That's a lot of breading. What I like to do is I always like to have one dry hand and one wet hand. So the wet hand always stays wet, the dry hand always stays dry, and then we're just going to kind of slowly mix it around like so. And now we have a nicely breaded little cup. Okay? So once again, we'll do this once again so everybody can see. We'll do a green one this time.
So you don't need to like somehow dry the zucchini in any way. It's fine as long as you're slicing it.
No. I've seen like that. That's a really popular process with the whole eggplant. They salt it
yeah.
and then they let it dry and that sort of stuff. My concept and what I found is you use a really good fresh eggplant and you never need to do any of that.
Yeah.
Okay? Really good fresh eggplant. The bitterness is very low. The seeds are usually very small and that sort of stuff. You let this stuff get GB. I usually like my eggplant a little bit smaller. I don't like the big, huge the huge ones. Same thing with the zucchinis. Usually this is a great size. And when they start getting to be like that, there's no use. It's all seeds. The outside is tough.
Baseball
and I really don't like it. Okay? So once again, dry hand. All right? Stays dry. We shake off as much as we can. Egg.
And we always have tons of zucchini and tons of eggplant. So.
All right. And usually, if I'm doing this in a large amount, I'll have different bowls, or I'll use baking dishes, something rectangular and a little bit wider, and you can kind of move things around. But I usually like to just let the breading kind of coat itself, and it does the work for you. And this way, you don't have what we call club hands, where there's just breading all over the place, and it gets to be like your fingers tripled in size and that sort of stuff. All right. So with that said, all right, the next process that we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make something really cool and neat. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to show everybody how to make a pesto, but we're going to make pesto with something different. All right. So many people get stuck on making pesto with basil. And we're going to use a little bit of basil in this.
All right, I'm going to wrap up this one. So you're going to end up frying this?
So I'm going to end up frying this. We take
In a
these,
little bit.
shallow pan, maybe a 1/2 inch of oil in the bottom of the pan, medium heat, and we just fry them until they're golden brown on each side.
All right.
Okay?
So you're not demoing that.
No, we're not going to demo that. I didn't want to fry in here.
Okay. So
All
no
right.
frying. Sorry,
would've killed
Facebook
the,
Live people.
We would have killed the temperature. So I don't know. That's a really good question. The reason for that is, and the reason I don't know, is first of all, my wife's been asking me to get one of those things for a long time. The second reason is it ends up coming in. We use it like 5 times, and then it sits on a countertop.
Oh, we use it every day.
So that's great. That's great. That's good to know.
Every day,
I
they say.
don't know. So the air fryer is traditionally you put this in, and then it has a thing that goes around and around. Correct?
It's basically a convection oven.
Yeah. So I don't know if that would work in it or not. I would love to find out, and if it does, great. Go for it.
Go over
All right.
to his house and try it.
The other thing is,
Go for it.
no, let's do that. The other thing is that, oh, well, get one for your house, right? You can use it at your home. You cook all the time at your home. I don't cook in my house. I'm never home to be able to cook for my house. Everybody's always saying how my wife and my kids must get these fantastic meals and everything else. I honestly haven't cooked at my home in the past 4 weeks. All right? And that's just because we're so busy. All right?
It's summertime. Is
yeah,
when
it's summertime.
Make the money.
Yep.
All right.
So,
We're going to sign off from Facebook Live. Thanks for watching, people. Come to the next dinner. They're super fun.
We have
Bye,
our
everybody.
little food processor. What I'll do